Okay, well, good morning everybody. Good morning from Las Vegas. It's a slightly chilly day. Not too bad. It is January, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. I think it's about 10 degrees. It's a little bit overcast, but I think the sun is burning through. It is a Monday morning and we are off for a little adventure today. I will tell you where in 1 second once we get on this get on the motorway first. Yes, it's Monday morning. It's been a week now since I had my first bout of chemo. The first week normally makes me feel pretty shit, excuse my French, and then the second week generally I pick up a bit of energy. So yeah, it's been a week today and I'm feeling alright. I wouldn't say I feel amazing, but I feel alright, good enough to go out on the bike. Anyway, how's the audio? I know the audio in the first video was pretty awful. This is going to be the first test of it now, really. I've got a new microphone. Microphone's now plugged into the GoPro. Hopefully that has improved things. This is a test now on the motorway. The wind noise, hopefully you can hear me still. I'm kind of eating the microphone, so hopefully the fact it's half in my mouth will mean you can hear me. It's just whether the wind noise affects it. Put my visor down. There we go. Got my sun visor down because it's so beautiful and sunny. Right, so you can overtake on the inside in America, by the way, before you start complaining. There is no overtaking lane in America, which is a stupid rule. One of the only stupid rules they have out here. But hey, I'm not complaining. Anyway, so where are we off to today? Oh, my voice went a bit funny there. Where are we off to today? So I found some pictures of this bike that were taken in like an empty warehouse, which has got loads of graffiti inside. And I asked the guy where they took the photos, and they didn't reply. And I messaged them, and they didn't reply to that either. So I feel like it's a bit of a secret. Anyway, so Google has no secrets. So I Googled away, see if I could find empty graffiti compound Las Vegas, and I found what's called Illusionz compound, and it's just south of Vegas on the way to Hoover Dam, and I'm not 100% sure it's the same place, but I'm 99.9% sure. The only problem is, can I get in the compound? Because it looks like it's been blocked off, but it looks like it's been blocked off to cars. It looks like there's a couple of bollards. This is like looking on Google Earth, seeing as that's what I do for a living. I should be fairly good at telling when there's a gate and when there's not a gate, but anyway, it looks like there's a couple of bollards that will stop cars going through, but not a motorbike. So I'm hoping and praying that this compound is accessible, and also that there's nobody there, because if there's people there, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. But it is kind of in the middle of the desert, so I'm kind of assuming there's not going to be anyone there. HOV lane, high occupancy vehicle lane, high occupancy vehicle, one person on a motorbike. Don't worry, ladies and gents, that is also allowed. I am allowed in the HOV lane on a motorbike, because I'm such a considerate road user, and I'm saving the planet by riding a motorbike instead of a 8-litre truck, I'm allowed an HOV lamp. So, screw you cars. I had a bit of a sweat on this one and getting all my gear on, because I got my warm gear on, and it was quite nice and cosy at first, but now I've been out 5 minutes, I'm starting to feel the cold already. Oh, there's a tyre rolling down the middle of the motorway there. Excellent, excellent. Always what you need on a Monday morning, your tyre to be overtaking you. It's not my tyre, I don't think. So this is the 95, the US 95. This is a road that I would take if I was going to the Strip, of which I will probably do one day on a video, maybe at night, give you a little tour of the Strip by motorbike at night. How romantic. Most things Daisy and I do are romantic. Look at it this morning, looking fine. Only miles on an hour, 32,970 miles. Yeah, I think I've owned her 10 years now. 10 years this year. And I bought her with, I think, about 10, maybe 10,000 miles, maybe just under 10,000. And I bought her for an outrageous sum of $3,500. Outrageous amount of money. Especially when it was worth probably 10. Got a good deal there. Basically, the guy I bought this off. Anyway, I'll go back. So it was Christmas Day. Tracy had bought me a Ducati book all about Ducatis, and I was looking through this book and I saw the 916, and the 916 has always been my favourite bike. It was my dad's favourite bike. My dad could never afford one, and it was always my favourite bike. It was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I was looking through this book and I saw the 916, and I went onto the internet. And out here there's a website called Craigslist, which is like a for sale site. And I typed in Ducati 916, and up popped this Ducati 916, and it was on there for $4,000, I think. And I looked and I thought, SPS? I don't think it's an SPS. Anyway, so I messaged the guy and I said, interested in your bike, but I don't think it's an SPS. And he said, well, I don't know, that's just what the guy I bought it off told me it was an SPS. Anyway, so I went round to look at it on, I think, Boxing Day. There's going to be a bit of traffic down here. Everybody slow. I went round to look at it on Boxing Day, and it wouldn't start just because it had a flat battery, but when he jump started it worked fine. And I offered him 3.5, I think, and that's what he accepted. And this guy, he was basically a plastic surgeon. Lips, tits, and whatever else. And he had clearly married one of his clients, because there was this tall blonde girl in the living room I could see, had a boob job. And I think she was basically making him sell everything he owned, because he was selling this bike. He was selling a Land Rover that he'd spent an absolute fortune on, putting DVD players in it and LED lights in the doors and all kinds of crazy stuff. He spent a fortune on it, and he was selling that, and all his furniture was in the garage. He was selling all that. I think she was basically just remodelling his house for him. Anyway, so I bought the bike, and when I picked it up, he gave me a helmet, just a pretty bog standard helmet, and also a Ducati leather jacket, which I no longer have, because he basically said he was never going to ride again. So he didn't need the money. I don't think he really knew what he had. I don't think he really knew its full value. I don't think he really cared. He was just needed to get rid. And I was the beneficiary of this marriage to Baywatch girl. Happy days. You keep the dolly bird, I'll have the bike. Oh, it's always a bit mental down this road, especially with the roadworks. Actually, it's mental down any road in Vegas. I can't see my mirrors whatsoever. The mirrors on this bike are awful. I have to like move my head and my elbow. Idiot. He was on the phone as well. Cut up the inside of me. I'm going to get out of his way. Cut the inside of me and then tried to cut right across me, so get out of your way. See ya, knobhead. Oh, he's got a children's license plate on, so of course he cares about the children, not really anyone else. I'm someone's child. Sorry if I keep sniffing, it's cold and this chemo gives me a runny nose, and there's not really a lot I can do about it. The last few days I've had this rash on my face and upper body. Now when I started immunotherapy, they said that I would get a rash, and I did, and then I took some antibiotics and that helped. But what I didn't expect was when I stopped immunotherapy, the rash would come back, which it has. So the last kind of 3 days I've had this horrible rash on my face and upper body that is just really irritating. It's like, imagine when you were 12 years old and you were at the peak of your acne and your face was just covered in spots. Oh, this is tenfold. It's pretty much every single pimple on my face is a spot. So over the weekend it's been pretty nasty. Just another side effect of this horrible disease. Today, actually just putting on my helmet hurts because the skin goes all dry. But anyway, today it's starting to get a bit better. I started taking some antibiotics that I still had left from the last time. I started taking them on Saturday morning, I think it was. Or maybe it was, yeah, Friday or Saturday. So I think today's day 4. And the antibiotics are working, so thankfully the end is in sight and my spotty teenager face will improve. What other horrible nasty things can I tell you about cancer side effects, or well, not side effects of cancer but side effects of chemo? Generally, last week I just felt tired. Like, everything I do is just an effort. Just standing up, walking to the kitchen, you know, making some food. Just everything you do is exhausting. And you know, Tracy's very good. She looks after me, and she lets me go for a nap. Not lets me go for a nap. Yeah, encourages me to go for a nap in the afternoon if I need it, and I've been doing that up until yesterday. I didn't feel like I needed a nap, so that was a good sign. And like I said earlier, the first week of the chemo is normally the worst. That hits me for 6, and then the second week I'm normally not too bad. Like today, I've got a lot more energy today. I'll still probably be exhausted when I get back from this ride. But it's good for me to get out. It's good for me good for my mental health. You know how important that is these days. It's good for my mental health just to be out in the fresh air, keep my mind busy, give my mind something to do. It is a bit of exercise. I don't think I've just sat on a motorbike, but riding a motorbike is a little bit of a workout. Yeah, so as much as sometimes I sit in the house and I think, oh, I don't know if I can be bothered. Once I actually drag myself up, get my stuff on and get out on the bike, I do feel better for it. Same when I take Finley on his mountain bike. It's almost like I dread going because I know it's going to be tiring. But once I'm out, I feel a lot better for it. I've just noticed that my speedometer has decided to stop working, so I'm currently going 0 miles an hour. That's a bit weird. Wonder what's happened there. Okay, we are nearly there. I think we just come over this hill between these 2 mountains and turn off. We're going south towards Lake Havasu. Lake Havasu is where London Bridge is, which is it's a very nice bridge, very London-esque, but the Americans thought they were buying Tower Bridge. And so when they bought what they thought was Tower Bridge, when they got London Bridge, they probably weren't amused, but it's still a very nice bridge. Yeah, that's down in Lake Havasu. That's about another 2 hours maybe. 2 hours south from here. Not far. On easy roads, that's the thing. It's 2 hours, but it's not 2 hours on the A1. It's 2 hours on a pretty empty road in the middle of the desert, so it's not exactly taxing. Yeah, so if you come down here and if we follow this road all the way around for another couple of miles, we'd end up in Boulder City. And Boulder City is the town that was built for all the workers they've built the Hoover Dam. So now it's just a cool little town. So we're not going that far, we're going to get off here, try and find this compound. I was thinking after I made the first video, I was thinking, yeah, what am I? Do I actually want to make these videos? Do I want to do vlogs? Oh, I kind of doubted myself. But then I thought, you know what? I don't care if no one watches them. You're probably mad if you are watching it. I know someone that will watch it. My mum will watch it. Hi Mum, thanks for watching. But if anything, I'm making them for, you know, maybe my kids can watch them back in a few years' time, and they can listen to their dad and watch their dad ride his bike. And think, oh, what a knobhead. Right, how far down do we go? I think there's a, what I would call a major junction on the right hand side, and then I think it's the one after that. I can see a warehouse. Definitely see a warehouse. It's like a solar farm here on the right. Right, so I missed that junction. This lorry is going to turn into the major junction. I think it's the junction after that. There we go. Right, it's the major junction. That's that. Oh, I can see it. I can see it. And I think I want to go in here. Just indicate. Yeah. Let's go down here. Let's check it out. This is looking promising. Oh, horrible gravel. Oh, don't like it.